It is 7 o'clock. I want to be respectful of your time. We're going to get right into this thing. All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. You guys can talk to me. Hold on. Let me put y'all music. Not that I don't want to hear your voice, Warren, because you have a beautiful voice, man. Beautiful voice. You ever hear Warren sing? Maybe we'll get Warren to sing after this. Yeah, I think that's what the people want, Warren. I think that's what the people want. All right, cool. So, what's up, man? We are here on a Sunday, and I want to practice what I preach, right? I want to practice what I preach, and that includes E2E. I love, as you guys know, man. If you don't know, you've seen me here where I've done coaching calls where I'm in a different time zone. I've done coaching calls like from the stadium of a baseball, from the parking lot of the baseball stadium after the game started. I've done them like at weddings, literally. Sleepers for Suckers, Dave Shantz, who might pop on a call here. It was at his wedding, and I had to pop out from the wedding so I could go do the coaching call. Because I love doing the coaching calls. I love speaking with you guys, right? I love helping and making sure that, your questions are answered. And but I also need to practice what I preach, right? Who's in here? Yeah, I had the mosquitoes bite me. Yep, Duke remembers. So who's in here who wants to successfully be a successful wholesaler, right? We all want to be successful wholesalers. Who wants to be a leader in their business, in their field? Right? We all do? Okay, good. So, thank you, Aisha. So, in order for us to be successful, kind of hinted on it last week where I kind of took you through the 30,000-foot view of the process of how I run my business. Now, I'm not saying that's the best way. I just say that's the way I do it. But I also need to make sure that I'm doing that across the board, okay? And so I need to practice what I preach and not be so into the business that I can't work on the business, okay? So what I wanted to do with the help of my cousin, he came up with it, and he's actually talked to me about it a couple of times. What I want to do is I want to start highlighting people within the course, within the group, who have done a couple of deals, okay, have some knowledge base, has some experience, know what it, not only just know the process, but understands the feeling of going through the process, right? Because we're all human beings. People make decisions off of emotion, and understanding the feeling of going through the process is just as important as knowing, having the knowledge, right? So what I want to start doing is I want to start highlighting people and bringing them onto the call that are from within the course. Now, sometimes we'll do stuff. We're still going to do stuff where I'm going to be here. We're still going to do stuff where we're going to be bringing, some of my real estate buddies on to talk and help us out. But every once in a while, I don't know, maybe we'll start it off with like once or twice a month. We'll start to bring in some of the people that have done deals and have them lead, because this is not Tommy Holt's wholesaling course, right? This is E2E, right? Employee to entrepreneur, right? That's the whole transition. We're trying to get people out of the employee mindset into entrepreneurial mindset, and that takes sometimes kicking people out of the nest, right? Maybe putting them in a situation where they're maybe not as comfortable. Okay? But it's something that we must do. We must do if we want to just not be a wholesaler, but be successful wholesalers and be leaders in our industry. Okay, that comes with public speaking. Even though we're kind of here, digitally, this is still considered public speaking, right? So what I want to do is I want to start bringing people on that have got a couple of deals, and say, here, you pick your topic and what you want to speak about, and I'll be here, but you pick the topic, what you're going to speak about, and that way you're getting a fresh idea from, not from me, Not that I'm some great, fantastic wholesaler, but you know, I've done more deals probably than most people on the call. So you're not getting it from that standpoint. You're getting it from, all right, I just got a first deal. All right, my first like 2 or 3 deals. Okay. And that way it's fresh, and there's some stuff that's going on, like maybe things that I'm not even thinking about that I forgot about how that felt when I went through that situation. Okay. So I always want to bring value to you guys. And, you know, talking about wholesaling or just real estate in general, we could do that all day, but I really want to bring value that's important to you. Okay. So there are going to be some things that we need to do. Obviously, you're going to have at least one deal done if you're going to lead these calls. But we're going to start picking people to bring up topics that are important to them, because I guarantee you some of the stuff that's important to Yusef is probably important to Susie, right? Maybe I'm not thinking about it, but Yusef is thinking about it, and that'd be something a topic that I would never think about covering, right? Okay. Then also, like I said, practicing what I preach. What are we trying to be? We're trying to be business owners, right? We're not trying to be self-employed, right? Right now, I am self-employed by E2E. All right. Right now, I am. I do everything. I do everything in this business, which is fine. But we got to practice what I preach, and we have to become business owners in everything that we do. All right. So I'm going to bring on my cousin, my boy. And he's got 6 deals, two deals on his own, 4 deals where he JV'd. So a total of 6 deals underneath his belt. He's also a real estate agent. He's been on the call like once before when we kind of did a joint call, but he's got some things that he wants to talk about specifically. And then we're going to cut it right around that 30-minute, 35-minute mark and rock out with some Q&A. So listen, make sure, I know you guys have questions. Write down your questions now. All right, because once the Q&A happens, we can go right into the questions, and I don't have to ask 10,000 times, does anybody have questions? And y'all wait till right before I hang up to ask me questions. All right. So what I'm bringing on is Sean Hudson.
What's going on, people? Yusef, I saw you throw that deuces up. What's up, going? So I want to ask a question. Tommy, he launched this in October. It was October, right?
It was September 20th. The hard launch was October. Yeah.
September 20th. Who's been in since around maybe October, November-ish? I know Warren has been in. Who else? Is anybody? You can see chat.
Oh, you just click the button right here.
All right. So, Dex, take yourself off mute.
Yeah.
What's going on, brother? How you been?
I've been great, man. I've been great.
All right. So, Dex, when did you join E2E?
I joined in April. April. Yeah, April of this year.
Okay, cool. So, you know what? I got a question for you, Dex.
Yeah.
How much does a roof per square cost in your area?
A roof per square in my area. I don't even know that answer, to be honest with you, man. Yeah, I don't know, man.
All right. So, Warren, I know you've been around. How much does a roof per square in your area cost?
I don't remember per square, but I know they generally run about $6,000 to $10,000 depending on the pitch of the roof.
All right, cool. So next question. Who's our newest member? So tell me, anybody in here been in for a month or less?
That would be me.
Okay. Tommy just said your name, Susie. So Michael A, he said 200 per square. Good job. So Susie, I'm gonna pick on you. How far have you gotten into the E2E?
I did. Okay. I got as far as what is a deal?
Okay, what
I
is
think
the
that's
deal?
something. Right.
Did you get to the modules where Tommy gave us some homework to go to Home
Yes.
Depot and stuff? All right.
Yes, I did. I've done that.
All right. So how much is an HVAC system? Like if you say you saw a rundown house and you need an HVAC system, how much does that usually cost? Ballpark figure in your area.
I'll tell you. Check my homework notes.
Oh, yeah, she got homework.
Okay, let's see.
Bring her to the front of the class.
I don't know yet, but okay. Okay, so you said an HVAC system on the average size house?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if this guy was telling me the right information. $7,000,
You know what? What area are you in?
New Jersey.
Okay, Jersey. Plainfield, New Jersey, all day.
She's gonna be in the Edison area, but yeah, I've got
Okay.
a quote from somebody in the East Orange area. That's what they said, $78,000.
All right, cool. That's about right. Tommy said you're correct.
Okay.
So anybody in the call, how much does the plumbing in your area normally cost?
Okay, so do plumbing.
Dominic, I see you scratching your chin. You got an answer for me? All right.
For
Key,
me,
huh? You got it? You got it, Susie?
again, don't know if this is true, completely accurate. Why I say that, because, you ask different people, they say different things. $25,000.
Oh, for plumbing?
Yeah, I have a feeling this guy was just trying to hustle me, actually, so I can't go by that.
Okay, so we're not gonna go by his numbers. We're gonna
Okay.
search out when we get that deal, and we're gonna find some different numbers. I got some in the chat. 150 per fixture, 800 for a main line. Thanks, Logan. Thanks, Michael. All right, so I'm saying this, guys, for one reason and one reason only. We get so caught up in trying to learn everything about the business before we get into the business. These modules that Tommy has taken his time to actually go out, like, we have to take action on these. So when you go through a module as like the homework, he tells you, okay, after this module, go to Home Depot, call your local HVAC guy, call your local plumbing guy. Those are the action steps that we have to take. So a lot of times we sit here and we go through, 22 modules, and then we're like, okay, cool, I'm ready to go wholesale. We really can't do that. If you go through the wholesale and say, hey, this Tommy told me how to find buyers in my area. So after that module, you need to get off the module, get on the phone, start driving, seeing people fixing and flipping. If you go to Home Depot, seeing somebody putting up a whole bunch of lumber or whatever, you need to ask them like, hey, do you buy houses? Or who buys your houses? So now you just ask them for that person's business card, and boom, you got your buyers. So we need to take action steps in everything that we do in these modules, not just sit here and just go over what. When I brought the idea Tommy to lead the call today, I said, hey, let me lead the call. He said, what? He's like, what are you gonna talk about? I said, analysis paralysis. A lot of us, man, we sit here, we watch YouTube, we watch podcasts, we watch the modules that Tommy gave us, and we just sit there and just sit on that wisdom that we got, but we don't actually go out and do it. Like, me personally, I hate cold calling. I know a lot of people in here hate cold calling. I mean, yes, I use Deal Machine. I bring, I send out so many postcards. I walk around with these shirts with my number on the back. I tell you, everybody that knows me knows that I am a wholesaler. I mean, and I'm a real estate agent as well. But they also know I'm a wholesaler because that's the way I brand myself, I market myself on Facebook, on Instagram, at least 2-3 times a week. I'm saying, hey, does anybody here have a house for sale, going through a foreclosure, probate, any of that kind of stuff? I keep that stuff out there. And I can tell you my the 2 deals that I've done on my own have come from me telling somebody else what I do. And I went to, I'll tell you a quick story. Tommy came, that's my cousin. I've known this dude since the day he was born. I took this dude to go get his driver's license. And he comes to me and says, hey, let me tell you about this wholesaling stuff. I wasn't trying to hear it. I was like, I don't want, no, I'm good. I have a good job. And he was like, hey, Max Maxwell is doing this conference. He was like, do you want to go? I was like, yes, I'll go. I looked at the price, $400. I was like, no way in the world I'm paying $400 to go see another person talk. I went, changed my life altogether, just being around so many positive people, which like we have in this group right here, because I stay on the E2E Facebook page and I'm seeing comments and everything that everybody's posted. But what I did was, as soon as I got back, I was fired up. I want to know. I'm like, yo, I'm a wholesaling king, even though I did the course. I thought I knew everything about wholesaling. So I went back and started telling all my friends, like, yo, I'm a wholesaler. Anybody that needs to sell their house quick. Told one guy, he was like, hey, I got somebody for you. And I was like, really? Had no idea what I was doing because I thought I was king of wholesaling because I went through Maxwell's course. But I really didn't know nothing. I called Tommy. Hey, Tommy, help. I was like, I got this guy, I got this lady. She's foreclosed in her house in like 5 days. I don't know what to do. He coached me through it. Boom, done. First wholesale deal. Second wholesale deal, walking around in Publix with my shirt on. Somebody comes up to me and says, hey, my brother's getting a divorce. He needs to sell his house quick. Okay, I got you. By this time I had cash buyers. I faithfully attend my real estate and investment groups, about 4 or 5 of them in I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. 4 or 5 of them in the Charleston, South Carolina area. It was easy. I got that deal, went to all the groups, was like, hey, I have this. Boom, 3 days, it was done. And so I say this because we get that analysis paralysis part of us where we just want to keep learning, and we're never taking action. So for the new guys on this call, I challenge you, don't just do all 23, 25 modules in one day. Do a module, then go ahead and do exactly what Tommy tells you to do. You go do your homework, go call plumbers, go call HVAC people, call everybody up. Then the next one, the ROI one, that's one I went over about 4 or 5 times because it took me so long to actually grasp what he was saying. So when I actually got out there and started talking to cash buyers, and I was like, hey, this deal isn't a deal for a wholesale. It might be a hotel. This might be a fix and flip, might be an AirBnB. With coming up with that ROI formula, I was able to write that down on a piece of paper and say, hey, here you go. Here's your ROI on fix and flip. Here's your ROI on Airbnb, buy and hold, all that good stuff. So I just want to, just before Tommy comes in and starts giving us some wisdom, what is your Logan? What's going on, brother?
What's up, man?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good. Do you have any challenges in wholesaling that you think that is a challenge for you right now?
Yeah, I would say I've been struggling most on just following up with old leads, but I actually did quite a few follow-ups today, so I'm trying to work on that a lot more.
Okay.
Because when I first started, before I joined the course, like I had no idea what I was doing, obviously, so I just had a bunch of leads that were just pretty much sitting there that I need to go back over and really get in contact with them.
Okay, so right now as E2E, we're a group, we are a family. So explain to everybody on here, what are you doing to go ahead and start, following up on these leads?
Just going back to the very beginning of my Podio account and skip tracing them and calling them, cold calling.
All right, cool. All right, thanks for Jordan. Can you tell us what your wholesaling day includes? Because we should be working on our business every single day, at least for an hour, 2 hours a day.
To be honest with you, man, everything you just mentioned about analysis paralysis is me. I've been in the course for probably about 3 to 4 months and taking zero action, but I decided I'm going to change that, man, the other day. So I want to have all the information before I start, but I really need to get out there, and what Tommy and Max talk about is just on-the-job training. If I mess up something, I'll be fine. I got resources like Tommy that's going to be able to help me out. It's just, I know once I get the list, I'll be able to attack and just get out there. It's just basically taking that first step. So that's where my biggest struggle is. And so I kind of set my date for like the next 2 months is where I'm going to close my first deal. And I have an accountability group on Facebook, so we're going to kind of hold each other accountable for that. So,
all right. So, Jordan, I can tell you this too. Like you said, we got resources like Tommy. You also have resources like Dex, Logan, Warren, Jonathan, Carla, everybody in this group.
right.
We are all resources. This is why Tommy created this group. He
Right.
didn't create this group just to, for us to hear him talk every Sunday night and Wednesday night,
Exactly.
which is another reason why I gave y'all a break, so y'all ain't have to sit here and listen to him talk. I listen to him talk too, I talk to him on the phone every day, but I was like, you know what, let's give him a break and let me see what the people have to say.
Right. Right.
All right, so hey, Jordan, so tomorrow, I tell you, it's almost 8 o'clock now, but tomorrow morning, I need you to do something in your business. Like I said, that homework, those questions that I asked, that's stuff that you can do while you're learning. Find out that HVAC system, that plumbing, the roof, all that stuff costs.
Okay.
That's stuff that you could do that on if you work 9 to 5.
Right.
You could do that on your smoke break. You don't even got to smoke. Just tell your boss, like, I'm going on my smoke break, call the local HVAC guy.
Right.
Take 5 minutes.
Cool. Appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Eric just popped up on the screen. Can you tell me what your wholesale day looks like? Even, like I said, it doesn't have to be full time, hour, 2 hours, whatever it is. Hold on, let me take you off mute. Can't hear you. Can you hear me, Eric?
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. My wholesale day, most of the time I be on the computer searching up properties, and just like I'm stuck in that same spot. You know what I mean? I can find good properties, but I'm always searching, I can't never get in contact with somebody or, something like that.
All right. So are you, what is your strategy? Cold calling, sending mail pieces?
Well, I'm trying to get the hold on the cold calling, but see, I don't have a dollar or nothing, so every time, it takes forever.
It does.
To get across to somebody, you know what I mean? That's pretty much my day, but I need to get to the closing table.
So this is what I do.
No, I'm stuck.
So when I dial somebody, I can tell if it's a landline or if it's a cell phone number. Me personally, after I call that
Yeah.
person and I can tell it's a cell phone, I send them a text immediately. Just
Yeah.
if you call somebody, I mean somebody. If I
I've been
call,
knowing that too.
what's up?
Still ain't no responsible back.
Yeah. So if I called you and you look at the number like I don't even know who this number is, I ain't gonna call. I mean I ain't gonna answer it. But everybody looks at the text message.
Yeah.
You know, I call, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
send me straight to voicemail. Guess what? I got a text for you. And guess what? What I do, I have it in my notes on my phone. I have my canned text message. I just go to my notes, copy and paste, boom, text.
Okay.
So, all right.
All right.
Hey,
Jalen.
Can I volunteer myself real quick, bro?
Come on, Youssef.
All right, this is a good topic, man. I like where this is going. So I'm sitting here thinking, and I know this is a little off the cuff, but I have to remind myself every day the difference between being busy and taking action. So that's what my new thing is, like taking the highest, using the highest and best use of my time. I can sit and watch real estate videos, instructional videos all day, as opposed to be out there. I know there's an empty house right here, and I know it could be a potential deal for myself. But just going deep enough down that rabbit hole to actually get some traction on that deal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I'm guilty of sitting behind my computer, acquiring knowledge, but not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like not taking enough action. And and also shutting out the distractions, the YouTubes and the Facebooks and the phone calls. My mama called me probably 15 times a day. She think I don't work, but yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to contribute to the conversation. I don't know if anyone else kind of runs into that issue of trying to distinguish the difference between being busy and taking action. Can you relate to that?
Yes, that's dope right there. I mean, that's what it is. You know what I had to start doing? I mean, I have an Apple Watch. So I had to start leaving my phone in the other room when it's work time. Because there's this pool game on my phone that I'm addicted to. There's Instagram that I'm addicted to. So as I'm sitting there calling people, or I'm supposed to be skip tracing or something, all of a sudden I get a message, and next thing you know, that phone is in my head, and I'm scrolling. And now I leave the phone in the other room. If somebody needs to get in contact with me, I know it's important. I look at the watch, I'll be like, okay, nope, it's not that important. Okay, cool. I get back to them. That's just a little something that I do. And anybody else say what they do to keep themselves on track?
Well,
Warren,
for me,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. You called Warren. It's okay. I'll wait.
No, go ahead. Susan, go ahead. Warren didn't look like he wanted to talk anyway.
Okay, well, what I try to do, I can't even say try to do. What I do is every Sunday, my brother and sister, they're also part of this with me. So we have a meeting on a Sunday morning, earlier on a Sunday morning, to be accountable of what we've learned during the week. To make sure, because I put myself on a diet, if you will, of 2 chapters per week. But like you said, actually, I thought I could have done more, but I realized with the homework, you gotta, you can't just rush through it with exactly what you just said. So, but I like the Home Depot thing. I went down to Home Depot a couple times this week, and so I know that at the end of the week, my siblings are going to talk about this. So I want to make sure that I'm on point to do what I have to do every week. So that's kind of how I'm keeping myself accountable.
Okay, accountability partners. Tommy talks about that all the time. Like, get some accountability partners. For some of the guys that's been on for a couple of months, like he actually put something out there to us, like, hey, put yourself on punishment if you don't do what you're supposed to do. if you're supposed to cold call for an hour a day, that's 5 hours a week. If you don't do that, you have to eliminate something that you love in life. So if you're supposed to cold call for 7 hours, you don't do it, and you love that Friday night chocolate cake that you as a family always do, and you can't partake in that chocolate cake because you did not do what you were supposed to do.
Oh yeah. Hey, can I say one quick thing? I'll ask a question, bro.
This is our stop, Yusef. This is our group.
I don't want to jump in on nobody, but could you talk a little bit about when to draw the line between like thinking that you don't have enough knowledge and to know when to jump out and just start taking imperfect action. And I say that because once I decided that I had enough knowledge or that it was worth getting out and making a mistake, I started having multiple closings back to back to back. You know, and there are some things I still don't know, and I had to learn. I had a closing Friday, probably was the worst closing I ever had, but once I sat back and really thought about it, after I took action, after I got the property under contract, after I closed it, I realized that, you know, one thing that I probably needed to work on a little more was networking. And I was sitting behind my computer screen too much. So had I known that this particular attorney that I used was not the correct attorney to be using for the type of closings I was doing, it probably could have saved me some headache. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say. I hope that makes sense.
So you asked a question, when's the best time? The best time is now, because we are E2E. You have all these resources in this Facebook group. I can tell you when all of a sudden I said I wanted to get into real estate, I was still in real estate school. I didn't have a real estate license, but I started telling people, hey, I'm a real estate agent, because first of all, I was putting that into existence. And second of all, as soon as I got my license, by me keep telling people that I'm in real estate, as soon as I got my license, I got my first listing for a house. Did not know real estate school teaches you how to stay out of jail. It does not teach you how to be a real estate agent. Had no idea what I was doing. Guess what? I leaned on my coworkers, my fellow peers. Like, how do I get this done? The same thing for everybody here. The best time to start is right now. If you get a deal under contract, get that deal into the Facebook group. If you have no idea what you're doing, just get it in there and be like, hey, I got this deal. And I'm quite sure there's about 4 or 5 people that will walk you through it. If not, Tommy will come through and help you through it. This is what we're here for. The E2E, we family right here. Hope that
Hey, I just wanted to go off of what you guys are talking about, the whole networking thing. That's something that I've been doing a lot lately, is networking with like other bigger wholesalers in my area. And like just last night, I went and had a drink with a bigger wholesaler, and he ended up sending me a list of 1,100 buyers just because we just went and had a drink together. So, I mean, for all like the newer guys, because I'm new too, like try not to look at other wholesalers as competition, I mean, there's enough money for everybody. So just try to network with as much people as you can. And I got 1,100 buyers out of it. So.
Thanks, Logan. And that's, like I said, I go to all my local RIAs. I know pretty much every investor, every wholesaler in my area. When I got that first deal, I actually went to a wholesaler who I didn't trust totally. As soon as I said, hey, I need some help, he was like, hey, cool, but I'm taking 50%, which you find out that's what a normal JV deal is, since, I have JV 4 deals now. But when I JV a deal, my whole thing is like, okay, I'm gonna get something out of this if I'm sharing my money with you. So I'm like, we JVing this deal. I'm like, I want your buyers as well. Like we gonna do 50-50, but then you got to send in your buyers list. So now your buyers list, even though you JV'd with somebody, you might have split in your profit 50-50. But guess what? You just got how many more buyers on your team? Like Logan said, it's all about out there networking, connecting. Anybody else in here that what's bothering you in wholesaling right now?
So yeah, hey, what's going on, my man?
What's going on, Jelly?
What's up? What's up? So yeah, I just want to add in. I'm having the same problem. My problem is like really similar to Yusef's, and like when to take action. When do you have enough knowledge to start taking imperfect action? That's a question I really been trying to find out myself. So I basically just been budgeting and spending money in ways that is gonna force me to take action. So when I get my check and everything like that, instead of like lollygagging around and trying to find out what's the best investment to make, I just go ahead and make an investment to where I'm gonna have to do something and have to be on time and have to be somewhere around people who are doing the same thing that I'm doing. And I've been going to a lot of meetings out in the bigger cities. I live near St. Louis, and there's a lot of real estate stuff going on out there. So I just been paying money going up to meetings, going up to little workshops and whatnot. And, I don't know if that's, something that's going to, I'm sure it's going to help, but that's just something different I've been doing, to start taking that.
So Jalen, when you go to these, to these bigger cities and real estate investments, do you get involved? Do you ask questions? Do you make sure that everybody in there knows that you're a wholesaler?
Well, as of right now, I just started. So
okay,
coming up this third, I will be attending a workshop with Ron LeGrand. I'm sure some people know him. He's gonna be out of St. Louis, and it's like you said, the little RIAs and everything that you have in your market, how all your investors. I've been going to a workshop, where it's gonna have a lot of the people who are really big investors in the St. Louis area. So I've just been spending money on things that are gonna benefit me, and that I'm going to go to because I've been spending a lot of money. Just putting my money in places where I'm gonna start taking action. But for as of now, that's like this is gonna be like one of my first workshops going to. At first I wasn't doing it. I thought I could go out and just crush stuff and just start doing things on my own. But I just feel like by doing this, I'm gonna start taking action and just getting everything on track.
So question, Jalen, what does your wholesale business look like, not your education business?
Right now? Okay, so I'm my main method has been cold calling. That's what I've been doing because that's really all I have the money to do. And I remember when I first started cold calling, I was so hungry to have people calling me back and have leads lined up and leads that I can come up with a deal out of. But now it's like I haven't learned enough of what I need to learn, and I was like, people are calling me, but I don't know how to come out with an end game or come out with all that, because it's like all I have is wholesaling in mind, and it's like I need to further my education. But it's like you guys said, you just can't sit behind a computer and just listen to people talk and read books. You got to go out and take action. But it's like I don't know what to do with some of the leads I have, being that some things are coming up like tax problems or it's a problem with this and now you can't wholesale it because this is the obstacle. So as of right now, I want to say anywhere from 5 to 10 leads, and I got 2 of them that I know I can do something with, but I still don't know how to move forward on. So that's why I've been going to workshops and whatnot.
All right, so Jalen, last question, I'm gonna stop picking on you.
No, you good.
Are those leads and deals that you don't know how to work in the Facebook group?
In the Facebook group? Nah.
E2E.
If I posted them in a Facebook group, I'm sure I'd get a lot of help. But it's like, it's still that fear of, getting committed into something and, not knowing if I'll be able to, get out. Because the deals I'm trying to do, one is a tax lead. So the house is $5,000 behind in taxes, and the foreclosure is coming up in 2 months. And it's like a $60,000 house. It's actually the house that I live right next to. It's crazy because I cut the grass and I maintain it all the time since it's right next door to me. And it's another one that's a historic home because I live out in the city of, like, called Belleville, and we have a lot of historic homes down here. And that lead, like I said, it's a historic home. And I don't know the numbers on it, so I'm just not that educated in just what the
All
numbers
right,
say.
so so I guess I wanted to name this call analysis paralysis, because I did it for so long. I actually know exactly until I actually started going out and started doing stuff. But like I said, Jalen, put that stuff in the Facebook group, because now people are going to be giving their opinions, their ideas on everything that your deal has. You can sit there and you can write down the numbers. Like we said, 5,000 in back taxes, it's about to foreclose. What the ARV is, how much work it needs to be done. And we need to come together as a family and start writing that stuff down in the Facebook group. I mean, Tommy's here to coach us and teach us, but he's done his teaching part, on these modules that he put out. Now it's time for us, because we're supposed to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We keep going to the boss, asking for, like, hey, like, what do you want me to do, boss? Like, nah, we need to get together and start coming up with these answers together.
Yeah. Hey, bro, excuse me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Jalen, man, that was a great question. So I've had about 16 closings, 2 apartment complexes and 14 houses, and I still make mistakes. So what I want to say is, to everyone, if you're just beginning, go ahead and accept the fact you're going to make some mistakes. You can't show me a sport, a business, a profession. You just get in, thaw it out, and you're just perfect at it. I had to accept that a few weeks back, that in order for me to succeed, to scale my business, I was going to have to be willing to go out there on the limb and be willing to make some mistakes. And I think that's what was slowing me down so much, because I didn't want to get stuck with a deal. I didn't want to have to tell someone that closing wasn't going to be on the day that the attorney said it was going to be on. Or maybe I had to come back and say, well, I really can't buy the property at that price. We need to renegotiate. Those were all false expectations appearing real, the FAIR acronym. So I think the sooner you accept the fact that you're going to make some mistakes to get great, the better off you'll be, because that's probably a barrier slowing a lot of us down.
Hey, Juice, if you may have answered your own question.
It wasn't a question, man. It wasn't, man. And I really wanted to say that because I had a tough Friday, man. And, I'm glad we're on this call today. It was a crazy closing, man. Almost to the point where I almost relapsed back to the 90s on the guy, man.
At least you get into the closing table. I ain't had none yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So I'm trying to be quiet, the teacher in here.
Man, get about it. All right, cool. So, man, first of all, I definitely want to say thank you to Sean, because like I said, he did a fantastic job leading this call. Again, bringing up things that are different, and we always hear about analysis paralysis, man, and it's something that plagues us all. It really does, even when you think it's not. Really, what we have to do is just make sure that we understand our whys and not. That for me helps out. Not so much my why, but my why not really pushes me more than anything else. You'd be surprised. One of the biggest motivators in life is fear, right? The fear of loss, right? It's why most of us either currently or used to go to a job that you absolutely hate, right? Think about it. You go to a job that you hate. My man pulled the shirt up right here, fam. You go to a job that you hate, not because you love it, you hate it, right? But it's the fear of loss. It's a fear of, like, man, if I don't go to this job today, in 2 weeks, I'm not gonna have a paycheck. Understanding that and being able to use that fear for a positive is a good thing, right? Like fear is not always a bad thing, right? You just got to know how to use it, right? And in the SWAT team, we use fear all the time, right? We need fear to double, triple check. Do I have a round in the chamber? Am I prepared? Did I bring the battering ram? Did I bring the saw? All the things that you need to do, right? It's fear, right? I need to double check myself, but we still need to push through it. We still need to push through it, man. And so when we got these things that are going on and we need, we have, and I've been there, like I've spent money on lists and let the list sit there for a day or two, knowing that time is money, money like speed. I say it all the time, right? And it's just, man, like, you know, I feel like I'm going to waste my time or I'm not, it's either wasting my time or arrogance, one of the two. Arrogance is probably one of the biggest things too, but it's a different conversation. But anyway, man, I really appreciate it, man. So we'll open up real quick for any Q&A. If anybody got any questions in regards to actual deals that they have or anything they want to talk about. Lee Band, where you at? Hold on, where you at, Lee Band? I was going to go up first.
What's up, Tommy?
What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
What's up? Yeah, I got you, bro.
Yeah, so I'm working on a deal right now. I think it might be probate because the owner passed away, and I'm talking to the daughter right now, so she's only here. So if I get it under contract, how does that work, the probate process with wholesaling and probate?
Okay, so is the probate process finished? Oh, I think we lost him. You there? Everybody else can hear me, right? It's just him, right?
Yeah, property, can you hear me? Hello?
Hold on. You cut out for a quick second, man. Is the probate process finished?
What about now? What about now?
It's like jumping in and out. I heard what about now?
Okay, now? Are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think the probate process even started. Her dad passed away a few years ago, and she's in a different state, and the property is just sitting there. So, and she's the only one that's living, I believe.
Okay. So, I mean, you got to go through the probate process, right? So you're gonna have to work on that. Unless there's an administrator placed over the estate. Is she the person she's the person that's the rightful heir of it?
I think, I mean, the house is still under her dad, and she's the only living person in that family.
Okay, so probate, as long as she's the rightful heir of it and she's the last living one, then it should be pretty smooth. It's when they have like a whole bunch of siblings and stuff like that, and then one of those die and they have kids, and then that's when it starts to really take a long time. But if she's the only one that's alive and she's the daughter, so we definitely go to her first. If the wife isn't around, then it goes to the kids. So she should be straight. It should be a relatively quick one.
So just treat it like a regular wholesale?
Yeah, but I mean, she has to, go through that process. Joshua Rand. Do you have a probate attorney already?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one that I think my dad worked with in the past, so I might have to reach out to her.
Okay. What I would do is I'll give you this number too. I'll put it in the chat. And this is for anybody in the Georgia area. Joshua Rand. My probated. Oops. I forgot. You gotta hold up. Forgot when you hit enter. I'm not gonna give you a cell number. 678 4950.
So just have her sign the contract. Should there be a limit on that contract? If it might go to probate or not? Should I put like a 30-day contract, 60-day contract, or?
Well, until she becomes, I know what you. All right, so there's a strategy of like trying to tie up a property, but you're not really tying it up legally, because right now she doesn't have any legal rights to it. I mean, she has legal rights, but she doesn't own it, right?
Exactly.
So Joshua Rand is the guy you can talk to. But what I was going to say is, she can't legally sign this contract. There's no validity there because she doesn't own the house. The way processes, she's gone through it, right? So sometimes people can do that to try to get like a commitment type of a deal, and where she might so she doesn't go and sell it to someone else, but you really don't have a real grounds to stand on because she doesn't own it until she owns it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I see.
So just build that relationship with her, teach her about the probate process, introduce her to your probate attorney, like be that guide for her so she doesn't want to go anywhere else.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how that process worked or not.
Yep. Yeah,
Right.
Joshua Rand will walk you through that, man. Like at least he does it with mine. He'll like get on the phone with three-way with you, and he'll say, okay, we just walk through the whole process. Are you the only living heir? Yes, no. We'll just go walk through all the problems that might come up.
And you know how much was the services?
I mean, it's
like a flat fee or?
Well, he during that initial like consultation, he didn't charge me. I don't know if he charged me, but he didn't. He doesn't charge me. But but to answer how much it might be, I don't know, because it really depends on how much work, how long it's going to take.
You're right. Okay. All right, I'll give him a call and see.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
It was somebody else right before or right at the same time. Was that you, Logan, or was that somebody else?
That was me. That was me, Tommy.
All right, I got you. Then I got Logan. Go ahead, man.
Say, what's up, Tommy?
What's up, man?
What's up? Okay, so yeah, I touched on this earlier, and it was about the house that was $5,000 back taxes.
That was what?
The house is $5,000 back in back taxes, and it goes into pre-foreclosure in about 2 months.
Okay.
So yeah, so give you a whole overview of this, which I believe is a deal. The owner, he's I know him personally a little bit. You know, we talk and we chat, you know, from time to time since we live next door to each other.
Okay.
He's in bad health. He was a big smoker, big drinker. So as of right now, he's in a nursing home, I believe so. And his son lives right across the street. And since, you know, he was a bad health and everything like that, I believe his house was paid off. But, you know, he wasn't, making any other payments on it other than the payments that he made with his mortgage and whatnot. So it's kind of confusing, but I'm trying to get you to understand it. So he's been put in a nursing home. His house is just sitting there and it's vacant, and it's becoming a trasher. There's, you know, homeless people living in it. You know, it's trash everywhere in the backyard. The grass is growing all tall and everything like that.
Okay.
And they just put a notice on the door that, you know, it's, you know, behind in some tax money and it's going to go to, you know, foreclosure in a couple months. I wanted to know what would be, you know, the end game with this. Like, how can I, you know, raise that capital up, pay off that tax, pay off those back taxes, get his house under my control, and then, you know, possibly wholesale it since it's paid off. You know, only it's what, a $60,000 to $80,000 house. You know, it's depending on the neighborhood that it's in. Like, you know, what would be my end strategy?
Got you. So real quick, man, because I mean, what you're asking is a very long explanation, right? But I want to say this. Do you know what the after repair value is in that neighborhood?
The after repair value, I have it in my notes somewhere because I was really on it, like, you know, initially when I first, you know.
Everything starts with that number. Everything's going to start with that number, right? And we're going to work backwards. You said that he didn't have a mortgage, but then you said he wasn't making payments on something where he wasn't making payments on the taxes. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, because it's like 3 or 4 years.
From what you know, that's the only lien. That's the only lien that's on there is the back taxes.
Yeah, from what I know.
You want to wholesale this thing, or you want to buy yourself?
I wanted to wholesale it because,
you don't need to raise any capital. You don't need to raise any capital. You just need to make sure that it's a deal. So that's why I'm saying the very first thing you need to figure out, you need to absolutely know is what the ARV is. Once you know what the ARV is, you can work backwards. You can look at the ARV and say, all right, I need to factor in about a 30% profit in most places. I don't know where you're at. Where are you at, Jalen?
I'm right by St. Louis. I'm like in Illinois, Southern Illinois. So.
Okay. All right, cool. So you need to probably factor in that 30% ARV, 30% from the ARV. And then you got to subtract how much it's going to take to rehab that property to get it to the ARV. Okay. And then your fee. And I'm sorry, then $5,000 and then your fee. Right. because it's $5,000 in back taxes. So you're asking, how do you raise the capital? You don't raise capital like for that. That's not what you do in wholesaling. You get into wholesaling with no money. Like the last, I don't know, 20 plus deals, I haven't even put earnest money up. Right? I have my buyer do it. Right. So it's just, you don't put any money up. That's the whole thing. That's the beautiful thing about wholesaling. You don't need to come up with the 5,000. You just need to make sure that it's a deal. Once you see that it's a deal, get it under contract, and then you're selling that contract. Okay. Right. So what I would suggest is go back through the modules again real quick. I really want to help you out here, but I know we got some other questions, but because I can kind of see you look like maybe it's still maybe a little bit fuzzy, right? Which is fine. We're all been there, right? But what you need to find out is what the ARV is. Let me just do it here real quick. So if let's just say your ARV is 150, okay, 150,000. I'm just pulling that out of the air. I don't know, right? You're gonna times that times decimal point 7, okay, and that's going to give you 150 times 0.7. It's going to give you $105,000. Okay, and then you're going to subtract. So the difference between 105 and 50, that $45,000 difference is your profit margin, or the end investor's profit margin. Then you're going to subtract whatever your repairs are. Let's say it's going to be $50,000 in repairs. Okay, minus that 50K, that's going to go down to $55,000, right? And then you got to subtract your $5,000 in taxes, right? That is a K, right?
Right.
I'll obviously leave it down to $50,000, okay? And then you got to subtract your fee. Let's say you want to make, how much money you want to make off this deal?
Say my first deal, I'd be cool with 10 grand.
10 grand? 10 grand is a good deal, no matter if your first or your second, third, your 30th. 10 grand is a good amount. So let's say 10 grand, so then you're gonna be down to 40, right? So that means your maximum allowable offer in this particular case, don't take these numbers as like, okay, this is what I need to offer, because I just completely made up your ARV.
Right.
But that's why it's so important. You gotta know this number here, and you gotta know which is ARV, right? And you got to know this number here. This is repairs. Okay. So you already know this. That's taxes, right? And what you make is up to you. But you got to know this number and you got to know this number, right? If you don't know these two, you can't do any of this. It's pointless. All right. So go back through the modules to learn how to do this properly, because this is super, super important. And then you can start doing all this. Make sense? Jalen, did we lose you? Jalen said he's going to get on the modules right now. He didn't left. All right. Logan, first of all, Eric, let me get something, man. What you eating there, fam? What in the world is going on there? You just going to put the camera right on the food.
Hey, my bad. I didn't mean to do all that. I got some fried fish over here.
I don't even eat meat, and I was getting ready to go get my hot.
My bad. Hey, my bad.
You good, man. You good. I'm just messing with you. Logan, what's up? Logan was ready to hop through that screen, man. He got the collard greens, no raisins in them, right, Logan?
Yeah, for sure.
Don't put no raisins or nothing in potato salad, Logan. Come on, man. What's up, though, man?
Hey, what's up? Honestly, I don't know if you'll know the answer to this, because I don't know if you've ever done it, but I figured I'd ask. What is like the best way to organize an RVM with another wholesaler? Like if you're splitting leads with somebody else, and you've agreed to do like a 50-50 split through that list that you have combined with.
I actually have done that. That's pretty simple. So are you putting out the calls together?
Yeah.
So basically, like, you have your list that you paid for and got skip traced, and they have their list that they paid for and they got skip traced.
Right.
Okay. And then when you get that list, you're sending that out together because you're trying to probably like get the best price. right?
Right. Yeah.
You send that out together, and then it comes back. And are you just RVMing? You know what I'm trying to say? All of them at the same time.
Yeah.
He's gonna put them all in there, right?
Right.
Okay. So cool. So call comes in, ring, ring, ring. Hello, this is Tommy. Yeah, blah blah blah. You get the deal. Okay, but it comes from your list. Well, the phone number is there, right? Just go to your Excel spreadsheet, type in the phone number, say, oh, this was my deal, right? Or conversely, type in the phone number, you realize that it was, Eric's deal, right? And so if that's how you guys are doing it, if you guys are doing it where, hey, we're going to just basically cut cost on paying for the skip tracing, but whatever deals come in our mind that are for my list, whatever deals coming off of yours or your list, if that's the way you're going to do it, then yeah, you just type in that number or type in the person's name. I mean, you're going to have the name, right?
Uh-huh.
And look them up. And then, so when you break it up, you put, I've done that before, I'll put, let's say my list up front, and then I'll do a space, and then I'll do, whoever's list below mine, I'll say, their name, and then their space. Actually, when I had, I had 5 people that were on my team. That's how I broke up their list. So it was like, this is Daryl's list. This was list, Tabitha's list, right? And I would break it up like that. So that way, as they came in, I knew which ones was whose. So it's not hard. Yep.
But like, if I was doing it with somebody, can you have the calls back to 2 different numbers?
So if you have call rail,
I use REI Rail. Max too.
So I'm not that familiar with REI Rail.
Okay.
How that works. I'm trying to show you real quick. It's probably very similar. Okay, let me see. Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet.
Hold on, let me see some here. I guess I got to redo that. Let me see. I'm trying to. Where we at? All companies, company callers, activity reports tracking. Where are my numbers at? Oh, let me go back here. You guys can't see it. Let me share. Hey, the movie started 8:55. We're about to go see The Lion King, y'all. So we'll get on this thing real quick. Call flow. All right, so activity reports. Where's my? All right, so here's the different numbers, right? You guys can see this now, right? Okay. So Daryl's number, David's number, Josh's number, Kiana's number, Melvin's number, right? Each one of them has their own number, right? So and then I have a call flow that you can create, and I'm pretty sure REI Rail is pretty similar. So when someone calls this one, or let's see this one right here. It's 444-800-6951. Don't be calling me, y'all. Don't be calling me unless you have a house to sell. So this one right here, the way I have it set up, it'll call, it'll come in, and then it'll forward to me first. I said Tommy rings first, then voicemail. Now I can change that to go to Tommy ring first, and then Logan ring second, and then Liban ring third, and I can just keep doing that, right? Or I could just go straight to voicemail, right? So it's different. It depends on how you want to do this. So for you and your partner, you could just say Logan rings first, and then the voicemail, or and then for a different number, let's say this number right here, you just put your call flow as your partner's name. So when they call this number, it goes straight to your partner, and you would never get that phone call.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yep. All right. Let's see. I think we are almost there. How far away is the movie theater from here? Oh, um, yeah, I'm gonna start at 8:55. This one right here. Let me see. We got any going through questions? Duke said, "Where'd you get the shirt?" Duke, you pretty much go anywhere and get a shirt like that. Yeah, that's not hard to find. Just type in screen print shirts. Look me up on the E2E group. Hope you feel better, Aisha. All right, just going through these notes here. How do we assign a bank-owned pre-foreclosure that requires a debt to be paid prior to ownership? So who's that? Jonathan. I typically stay away from bank-owned properties like that. Okay. Here's what it is that a lot of the bank-owned properties, you got to understand is that the money is insured by the FDIC, a lot of them, right? And so we start getting to these federal things that we really don't want to deal with. And there have been times where wholesalers have gone to jail, gotten fined, because essentially what you're doing is you're trying to negotiate this price, and it's weird. It doesn't make any logical sense. So don't try to think about it logically, okay? You negotiate a price with a bank, the seller. You negotiate a price for less than what the property is worth, and then you sell it for a profit, and they call that fraud. Now, I don't know how they get away with it, but there's been wholesalers that have gone to jail for doing it. And I'm not exactly sure I'm quite sure there's probably a loophole, but I just choose not to deal with it. So my suggestion is not really deal with those. Now you can go to a bank-owned property and close on it and then sell it for a profit. There's nothing wrong with that, but you would have to do like a double closing on that property, right? Technically wholesale it. Okay, you have to actually close it and then sell it for a profit. But as far as the debt that requires to be paid prior to ownership, that's simple. That's just regular real estate. You got a debt on the property, you got a lien on the property. So, Jonathan, you are the new person who's going to buy that property. You are the end investor, and I'm the wholesaler. And Dominic's his property has a lien on it for $25,000, right? Well, when you pay me, Jonathan, you're not the owner yet. When you put that money in escrow, you are not the owner yet. Okay, you're not the owner until closing day and all documents are signed, and then you become the owner, right? So you're going to pay. That money's going to go into escrow. The closing attorney or the title company is going to take that money and say, "Oh man, we got to pay Dominic's debt off of $25,000 before anything." So what just happened there? It requires the debt to be paid off prior to ownership, because that debt is now paid off. You don't own it yet until we have that closing day, right? And so ownership can be just as quick as debt's paid off, ownership. It can be just that quick, right? It doesn't have to be like weeks in advance. It literally could just be seconds in advance, okay? Eric, I got you, man. We just got to bring something to the table. And we got it. No problem, Jalen. Closing attorney in the Atlanta area. Yes. Andy Shooping. I need to start getting paid from Andy. I need to start an affiliate program or something. Andy Shooping. Let me respond. Who asked for that? Everybody. All right, so Andy Shooping is a good closing attorney, is thorough. His work number is 770-994-0105. All right, let me see who else. Should I get a Google Voice number for my business? Carla, yes. It's better to get a like a call rail or a Mojo dialer or something like that. I don't know everybody's financial situation. When I started, I got a Google Voice number. I did Google Voice first, and then I eventually got another number. Google Voice is great, but when people call, they're going to know that it's a Google Voice number, right? Yusef said you did an eye job. He said so, right? No, I'm just playing. He said you did a great job, man. Cool. All right, that's everybody, man. I think that's everybody. And that's awesome. I'm hoping everybody receives some value out of this. And we're going to go watch The Lion King, get my Hakuna Matata on, and I have some fun with the kids. And I think that's it, man. Nobody got anything else? Antoine taking notes. Okay, Antoine, I see you. I see you, fam. All right, well, y'all have a blessed one, man. Y'all have enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of the your evening, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Love y'all.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you.